Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the beautiful city of Nerdshire, where things, as always, are going pretty darn well. $8.3 million in the bank, 202,000 citizens. The international airport is functioning. People are really enjoying the parking lots. But unfortunately, people are enjoying things a little bit too much around here and causing some serious tailbacks here on the highway. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix it pretty easily with this kind of thing just here. 45-degree angle for that road sort of going in. And that's fine. Although I do need to change the lanes ever so slightly. So these two lanes are going to go like that. These two lanes are going to go to those, or this lane's going to go to those two lanes, and this one's going to go to those two. Then this thing itself is only going to go left. Basically. So it's only going to go left, and we're going to turn off the traffic lights. And then down this way, we're going to do a very, very similar thing with another road coming out at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to set it up in a very similar manner where this guy here can go left only. This guy can go straight on. This guy can go to that lane. You can go to that lane. You can go to that lane. And maybe we have them turn right. No, you're going to go straight on as well. So basically, quick ways in, quick ways out really should help things. Excuse me. Really should help things to flow a little bit better, methinks. / me hopes. We'll see. That, however, is another quick way in there, so really, we shouldn't have too many problems. Might be worth turning off traffic lights over here, but we'll leave those on for the time being, because we have other orders of business to deal with here in the airport. Because I kind of want to get some public transport in here. I was looking at this and thinking, oh, we could totally throw that in. That would look kind of cool, but it's way too big. I am sort of eyeing up the monorail stations because I think those could be kind of neat to have around here. But I don't know if I want to run a monorail from the international airport into the city because technically that's going to have to go, you know, way through the city. Because right now we only have monorails in this part, really. So to me, trains really seem like they're going to be the go-to right here. Really seems to me like trains are going to be the best bet. Also, interesting, the traffic is still opting to use all of this. I don't know why they're not using this road over here. That's kind of really strange, actually, that they're not using this all that much. But I guess we might see them use it eventually. Either way, I think trains are going to be really important for the international airport. It's just a case of finding where to put them, because I like the idea of putting a train station like right in the heart of the parking area. It's just kind of hard to do that because, you know, it's a big building and I can't really do it without anarchy. I can do it. I just need the anarchy thing. And then it's going to be going across, you know, these roads and across the highway. It's going to have to slow down traffic. I don't know if that's a thing I want to do. I might do it. I guess, you know what? The only way we're going to know if this works or not is to test it, so I'm going to have to get rid of everything I did here in the middle, and I really hope I'm not going to regret this, because I like my parking lots, man, I do. So we're going to get rid of all of that. So all of that's gone, and right in the middle, I want a train station. Now, obviously, the train station is ever so slightly on the road, which actually looking at it, I thought it was on the road a lot less than it is. That's not good, is what that is. That's, okay. Let's get rid of these parking lots as well. So just those ones are gonna go. And what I want to do is come in here with, is that a one-way road? No, those are two-way roads. I want to come in with this and connect across like that. Connect across like that, and then do the same on this side as well. Because then I can go in and get rid of that road. And we can put some parking behind the train station. We actually didn't need to get rid of anything in front of it. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. what's done is done. Let's get rid of those roads, because again, we don't need them. And we will actually throw parking back in front of the train station. And if I really wanted to, I could technically throw it there with anarchy, but it looks a little bit silly, so we'll not do that. I will clear out that side a little bit further. This entire side needs to go because train tracks. And maybe get rid of a couple more of those and then put a road across there. So that should be fine. We can throw parking lots there, 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 and there. And again, looks all right to me. We'll maybe bring some pedestrian paths sort of around that space a little bit. Just so that it all sort of connects up in an interesting sort of way. Do that kind of thing. Yeah. Just makes it look interesting, makes it look like the train station's sort of a part of the area. Now, in terms of getting the tracks to go where I need them to go, that's going to be... Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. Let's turn off road guidelines. And ideally, I want the tracks to snap to the middle. That middle tile, rather than the sort of cross section you can see of the tile there. But I'm not going to get it to do that, which is a bit of a problem. Technically... Oh, how am I going to get this to work? I really don't know, because I want it to snap to the middle, because that's going to look the best. I can do... like, turn off all of those, and I still can't actually get it to work. Well, that is a pain. Was really hoping that I could do that, basically. But I don't know if I can. Really, I mean, if I bulldoze, yeah, if I bulldoze that, it's not going to do what I want. If I extend that a bit further and bulldoze... Aha! Okay. Well, this is progress. Ooh, hello. Right. That right there is progress, because it goes through the 3 roads that I wanted it to go through. I mean, obviously, it's going to block the highway, block this road, and block that road, but progress is progress, so I'll take it. Now, in terms of getting those to line up, I mean, I can just do that sort of little kink there. I don't think I'm going to have a choice but to do that, so let's go by road length again. Let's just bring this out a considerable distance. And I think really that's what I'm going to have to do. I think really we're going to just have to go with that. Now, I can actually throw some parking lots there, which I might actually do. I don't think that looks... I don't think that looks so bad, to be honest. Now, what I also want to do is go back to grid snapping for a second, because I want to put these paths back in. Now, yeah, they're not in ideal spots, but they do nicely border the train tracks. In fact, make them out of dirt and they border it even better. I like that. I really do like that. Let me get rid of those parking lots for a second, because what I'm going to try and do is border the train tracks with these dirt paths, just to make it look a little bit more dense, I guess. Make it look like there's a bit more going on there than just, you know, your average train track. I mean, it is your average train track. It's just, you know, it needs to look a little bit more interesting than your average train track. So that can maybe go... That can go to there. That can go like that. And maybe if I turn off grid snapping for a second, I can probably make this look a lot better. So that right there. To the... Hold on. Delete that. Let's just do this in a way that makes sense. So turn off angle snapping, bring that to there. Bring that to there, and bring that the whole way down like that. And that looks fine. That's just more sort of dirt off the sides of the train track, and I'm kind of okay with that. Now, what I can totally go around and put some fences along that. I have got the props to do so. It's just that's going to be a lot of work, but it might be worth it, to be honest. Like, we have these industrial fences. That might not be a terrible idea. Am I really going to do this? I think I'm really going to do this. Let's go. Prop and tree anarchy on. Let's do this. Okay, I'll be honest, this took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I think it looks kind of cool. We got some fences, some chain link fences alongside the tracks. I put some sort of safety barriers in there as well, so people aren't, you know, going to be thinking they're going to walk up and down. I mean, yeah, they're clipping through it, and yeah, they can technically walk up and down these parts, but I just think it looks cool. It's a nice little bit of detail to block off the train tracks. Did the same over here and then put the barriers up as well. I put some barriers alongside the roads so people aren't going to be driving down the hard shoulder or anything like that. I like it. Personally, I think it looks pretty darn cool. Now, something I'm always tempted to do as well is put some traffic cones along there so traffic actually has to, looks like it has to split, but I feel like I need to get the prop line tool at some point in the not too distant future for some of the stuff I want to do with this. I'm really thinking that's going to have to be a thing. But we'll leave that for the time being. Let's get some pipes into the middle here so that thing's going to be working. I really should put some trees around here as well, I think. So, like, if I go in with, let's see, into here, bring the strength of that down. We can maybe throw a tree there and a smaller tree there. Just as an added little bit of decoration to the whole area. Although maybe not there because it blocks off the view a little bit. But here, I certainly don't think would hurt. If we bring the size up a little bit and just add a few bushes along there. In fact, if we bring the strength way up and just go along here, we can just add a bunch of bushes into these empty spaces. Bring the strength up again. And yeah, we can just make sure that we have, some degree of decoration in as much of this space as we can possibly get it. Just helping the place to not look anywhere near as empty as it currently does. So there's a bunch of little bushes just dotted around the place, dotted around the corners. I'm going to try and get some bushes in between the highways and the avenues as well. So just something like that. Hopefully in between those roads too. And yeah, that just makes it feel a little bit more alive, I think. Just adds a little something to it to make it feel a little bit more interesting. If we bring the brush size up but bring the strength way down, we can sort of have this like almost feathering thing going on where the bushes are feathering out into the forest a little bit. Because it just adds that little bit of detail that I think the area is currently lacking. Especially around the runways. It's not going to be completely flat. Although they're a little bit close. But I think that's nice. I think that'll do the job. I'm not too worried about it. Now, what I am worried about is actually connecting up the train tracks, because I don't really know how to do that. I don't really know what the best way to connect the train tracks is gonna be. I'm thinking that maybe we try and connect it. I mean, which of these platforms doesn't have a line? Doesn't have a train going to it? So this one, the second one. So if we could bring the train in and connect it here, that could certainly work. So what we'd really want to be doing is that, essentially. So that's where it's going to come in, and it needs to connect to this middle line. So really it needs to go there. So go along a little bit and go to there. Which is a bit of a mess of connections, if we're honest. That's really a mess. I mean, those two do merge together as well. Maybe they don't need to. I don't think any line... Yeah, no train's currently using that. The only worry is that... No, you know what? They're not going to merge. That's the way that's going to be. Those two aren't going to merge there. This is going to come straight along. I'm going to use Anarchy to get it to continue along. That gets real close there, though. Never mind. So we'll keep Anarchy off and keep Anarchy out of this. And let me just go for a considerable distance and start curving this way out. So just way out like that. Ah, wait, no, prop and tree anarchy still on. That's why the trees are inside of that. My bad. Bring it back again. Turn prop and tree anarchy off. Let's get rid of the thing on the left there and then bring this straight along and start curving it out sort of like that. So that's going to curve out. It's going to need to sort of... I think I am going to take it over this this road here. Just because, honestly, I think I want it to go in as straight a line as possible. So it's going to go straight... Oh, that's actually really lining up beautifully. So this train line's going to come straight out. It has to go down a pretty steep hill, though, which is remarkably unrealistic for trains. They don't really do hills all that much. If Transport Fever has taught me anything, it's that trains and hills don't make sense. But I think in this case, we might just have to go for it. I don't think we're going to have much of a choice. But I do want this to just run straight out. I know that makes the line really long. I know I could take a much more direct route, but I'm really feeling like this just needs to come straight out. And then just have a nice curve at some point. So I want this to try and curve from there. Yeah, like that. That was almost perfect. A little bit too far in the curve, though. It really... I don't know if it would be possible for a train to actually do this kind of hill. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be. But, you know, it's all good. We'll make it work somehow. So you're going to come out to there. It is not looking like it wants to line up, though. Can I get this one to line up? Please? No. Looks like they need to be a little bit closer together. So that one's going to come into there. And then you're going to come over... Almost. So close. It really is. There we go. So like that. Now that is super steep for a train line, let's be honest. But it gives us a connection to this right here, which in turn gives us a connection the whole way back to the central station, which then gives us a connection to the airport. Speaking of which, we do also have, you know, multiple connections. We have a lot of connections going around, basically, I think. We have the purple and the green line. And both of those lines, I don't know exactly where they go. I know the green one comes into there. Green-ish one, whatever it is, sort of yellowish green. Either way, that right there is going to be a new train line. So it's going to start there, and it's going to go all the way around and into there. And then all the way back to the international airport. So there we go. And what we can do is we can go to our train lines, and it is going to be... What have we not got already? We haven't got a proper green. So there we go. Proper green line, proper green train heading out. It's going to block off some traffic. That's okay. Blocks off the highway a little bit. Again, not too worried about that. It does back up traffic a little bit, but... The line's long enough that I think at some point I can probably turn down the number of trains and we'll be fine. I mean, 3 trains isn't going to be terrible. It's probably going to have 4 though, isn't it? No, it's only got 3. Okay. No, that's fine. So that's going to open up traffic again. Oh, that really did back that up. That could be a problem. We might only want 2 trains in that line, I think. I'm really thinking that's where we're going to go with this. So trains... Train line 5 actually has 5 vehicles, so maybe, just maybe, bring that down to like 3. I'm definitely thinking 3 vehicles is where that's going to have to be. Because that'll let traffic keep flowing, which is kind of the important thing there. Also interesting is the amount of traffic. Why is traffic so determined to use these bits to get out? Why aren't they using these ones? I guess a lot of it, I guess it would have to technically be on that road down there, wouldn't it? And a lot of it is not going to that road. I guess a lot of it can't really get to that road either, technically speaking. Which is kind of a problem. That is most definitely a bit of a problem. Maybe we need to make it so that there are some options for 2-way roads in those corners. Maybe the corners themselves just need to be 2-way roads. So that traffic can, you know, flow around a little bit. We'll see how that goes. That might... Yeah, these guys are actually going straight onto the highway there. So we'll leave that as is. We'll see what happens. The trains are coming back. Anyone waiting? There's actually a decent number of people waiting right there, which is surprising. Did not expect the trains to get used all that much. But there you go. Apparently they are. And apparently they are going to cause some problems because we're going to see traffic constantly stopping. Yeah, we might need to figure something out about that. That's a passenger train leaving for the region as well, which is curious. Might want to turn off regional train. Yeah. We're going to turn off intercity trains. Because otherwise we're going to have way too much rail traffic going back and forth there, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. So we'll see how that gets handled. It might be an idea to try and connect... I was going to say we could try and connect an exit like this over here on the other side of the train tracks, but That's kind of just moving the problem from one spot to another, and I don't really think that's going to be all that much use. So we'll leave it as is. We've got the trains sort of heading out that way. We get some coming back, some going that way. Anyone waiting in here for a train to the airport? A couple people. Definitely a couple of people. Which is beautiful to see. I've also realized technically it's possible for that green line to... Oh, no, it's not actually. I was going to say it's possible for the green line to go to the other part of the city, but it doesn't actually have any overlap. So maybe we'll just leave it as is. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. That's probably fine. We don't need to worry about it. As for this area here, I do really want to get on with having that grow, but we still don't really have any demand. And we still haven't filled up this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, that is actually zoned already. So that is very slowly but surely filling up. That's, I guess, kind of going to be the way of things, isn't it? Same with these areas in here and just a lot of the spaces that we have in the city at the moment. It really is a shame that I'm not getting to do much in terms of development, but it'll get there. It will absolutely get there soon enough. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll take a moment whilst those train lines get going and get active to, I think, start coming in with a new set of roads. So what I want to do is I want to start curving around like this, basically. So that's going to go, you know, like that, and curve that way a little bit if I can. I want it to just curve around the road really nicely. So sort of like that, and then this bit needs to come off of there. So that comes out like that. So I need those to link together, is essentially what I'm saying here. So you're going to go there, and you're going to go like that. Or maybe we'll use the proper curve to do that. There we go. So that's going to give us zoning along the train line. And then off of that, I want to start doing my sort of regular suburban roads. So we're going to have the one with the tree-lined one's going to come through like this. We'll turn off road guidelines for a second. I said for a sec. There we go. It's turned off. It's all good. Bring that straight up. Bring this over, perhaps, and straight through. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then all we need to do is get our usual set of roads. So that, and perhaps something like, maybe we will do that one as well, just to get a bit more going there. Bring this up, and bring this up, and fill in the rest of it. Okay, let's get this filled in. Let's get the pedestrian paths in here, and let's see if we can make something kind of interesting looking out of this area as well as that first one. And there we go. We've got ourselves another little residential area right there. With that said, I do think it could be nice to maybe bring a little road off of that point, and maybe just do something kind of like that and kind of like that, just to fill in that little space. I think that'd be kind of nice. I do also like the idea of maybe bringing some fences along that train line as well. That said, I'll do that in the next episode because I'm going to go get Prop Line Tool. That's a mod that lets you basically put props down in a straight line with a great deal of ease. So I'm going to get that, so life is a lot easier in terms of actually placing props down. I don't want to have to do it all one by one because that's going to be super tedious to do in there. I mean, I could do it. It's just going to be a bit of a nightmare to do. So we're going to leave that for the time being. We'll come back to it and we'll see what happens. I'm also noticing the population's about to drop under 200,000. That's a bit of a shame. Definitely don't want that to be a thing. Oh, wow. I guess that's mostly airport traffic coming in there, isn't it? Yeah, that's all airport traffic. It is nice, just, I still love how busy this road actually is. I am a really big fan of just how busy it is. I'm also really tempted to turn it into an actual highway. I'm really tempted, actually. Let's do that, I think. Let's turn it into a regular, like just the two-lane highway. Not from the start. We'll have part of it be, obviously, the avenue. But I like the idea that quite a big chunk of it is just going to be highway, because that's kind of how it would work anyway. So it's going to, yeah, it's going to go like that, and then it'll turn into the avenue as it gets a bit closer. Although I do also need to make sure that all the lanes are set up correctly so that they're not... So you're going to go straight on, but you are also going to go straight on. And then you're going to go to both lanes. And I want to make sure there's no merging on this side. So you... Basically, once they get in lane, they stay in lane because they're going to end up in the same ones anyway. And it's going to be the same here. Once you get in lane, you are staying in lane. There we go. So that'll help traffic just get up here a bit quicker. Which is kind of what we want. I also think it might be a good idea to increase the speed limit just here. Because it's 100 on that road. So maybe lower it the whole way along that road. So it's all going to go down to 80. And then this one's going to come up to 70. Because I think that's going to be a good idea. And then I think all these stretches around here should be 70 as well. So, and then that bit should be 60. Just because I don't think the limit needs to be 100 the whole way around here. I think it makes a lot more sense for it to be, you know, 70 on those highway sections. Those bits are 40, that's fine. But I think that makes sense. Then these bits here are actually going to go back down to being 40. So there we go. Speed limits have been adjusted. Traffic can get up here a little bit quicker. Has to slow down when it hits the avenue, but that's totally okay. I like it. I do. That's just going to help it move a little bit better. And that's kind of what we're going for. Down here should probably be sped up as well, but I think we'll just leave it as is. All right, let's see. Can we do anything else interesting with the international airport at this time? I didn't get the airport roads mod, as I'm sure you can tell, so there's not a lot I can do there. I think getting some trees into these green spaces is going to be a good idea, though. So bring that down. Put like a tree there and a tree there and there. A couple of trees in those spots. And then maybe put one of the giant trees sort of at the end there. With maybe a couple of different types of trees as well. Just to sort of add a little something to the space. Just to make it look a little bit less barren. Oh wow, look at that for a view. That is, that's a lot of parking lots. That is a lot of parking lots, good lord. Okay, so while I was making a quick change to some roads, as in while I was going around and using the parking restrictions thing to stop these guys from, well, parking on the avenues, I may have misclicked and clicked the clear traffic button. Which is, I was going to say both good and bad. It's kind of mostly bad, because basically all of my buses now need to respawn, which they're doing, but that's going to cause some issues because, well, highways. But all of the traffic down here as well is having to respawn and all go to wherever they need to go at the same time. So that was a bit of a misclick. Definitely not one of my better moves, but it's all right. It'll all, you know, get back to normal soon enough. Hopefully. I mean, it will. It's just, yeah, not not one of my better moments. In better news, though, traffic no longer parks on the avenues around here, which is... Do you guys need, like, traffic lights to be off? Because it certainly looks like it. Really seems to me like traffic lights don't need to be on there. Like, that really seems like it's sort of the case. I'm just slightly concerned that maybe we need priority signs so that traffic coming out of here... I feel like that really should just be a one-way road. I'm going to switch those back to one-way roads and see what happens. Because I'm kind of curious. So those corner roads are all going to be one-way roads. So in and... yeah. That'll be fine. So those are all going to be one way. So traffic here can now flow pretty much straight across if it wants to. Which is fine by me. But what I'd also like to do is make sure that, you know, traffic is flowing in the directions that it needs to be flowing in. So you're going to go left and straight on. And you're going to go right and straight on. And that should be fine. Now this connection here, I'm wondering if we even need... I feel like that doesn't need to be there. I feel like you can go to the right and not go to there. And then I feel like you can go there instead of that one. So that's just going to let the traffic flow through that space a little bit easier. Do we have any... We don't have medical care up here at all, do we? No, we don't have death care either. Which is a very interesting thing to need around these parts. But we do need it. So death care is going to go in that corner. And death care is also going to go in that corner. As for medical care, I mean... Apparently it is sort of necessary, but I'm thinking we throw like a hospital up here. Maybe a little bit much, though. I think a medical clinic could be useful just there, I suppose. Like if I put it there, no, would have to go out onto the highway though to get around, which is kind of a problem. So ideally, a medical clinic needs to be in like some of this space in here. So maybe we get rid of some parking, and maybe we throw a medical clinic just there. And that will let, you know, ambulances respond to issues by the airport. Policing and fire are both fine. You know, I haven't looked at education. Yeah, education I haven't looked at in a while. Elementary school availability is not very good. So let me just throw a couple of... Let me get one of these in here somewhere. I reckon clearing out this corner here, putting an elementary school there, and then putting some pathways around it, as we usually do, is a nice enough way to get some elementary education into that area. So that'll just boost the education in that spot, not by much. A lot of people eligible, not that much space. High schools, kind of rough as well. Technically need quite a few of those. High schools, 1,000 in the student capacity. Oh boy. Right. I reckon a high school next to the train station is not a bad idea. So clear out some of those buildings. I'm actually going to put 2 in here, though. Like 2 high schools. Yeah, they're right beside each other, but with the rail connection, that's fine. Because people are going to travel from all over to go to them. So that brings high school capacity up to 25,000, which is a bit better. Now, university capacity is currently fine. But I'm definitely thinking that maybe we want to throw a high school down this way, which we can totally do. So I'm thinking somewhere along there, perhaps, like that, for a high school. And I'm thinking maybe we throw one out here as well. Like that, perhaps. Also a couple of burnt down buildings there, bit of a problem. But we'll have a high school there. Capacity's almost there as well. So we can actually throw another one out here. Because I think there's going to be a really good spot. For the simple reason that we are going to have this whole area be filled with a lot of residential stuff. So that right there is totally fine by me in terms of high school capacity. It's much better than it was. Not perfect yet, but getting there. Maybe an elementary school next to it would be an idea. And maybe an elementary school over here as well could be an idea too. Just to bring the capacity up a little bit more. Now let's see. Has traffic sorted itself around here? It's definitely better. I don't know if anyone's actually using this. Well, yeah, there's a couple of people using the train station. Not that many, but, you know, a couple is better than none. Are people using it to get here? 30 of 340 is not bad either. Oh, power problems. Really? That's unexpected. I'll tell you what we need to do. Next episode, we have a couple of things to do. We need to get the prop line tool. We need to get our demand back to where it needs to be. And we need to get the fusion power plant. We definitely need to get the fusion power plant, because for the time being, we're going to have to stick with nuclear, which is nice and all. It's just, you know, nuclear power, which is risky. It's kind of risky. Also, the last time I talked about nuclear power, I was like, yo, it's really clean. And I totally forgot to mention the fact that the waste that comes from a nuclear power plant is some of those... the most damaging stuff you can possibly put in the ground. Because that's what they do with it. It's nuclear waste. So the power generation itself is relatively clean. What's left over not so much. So I was like 50% right. There was just a really important detail that I left out, basically. That's kind of the gist of it. I left out one really important note, which is that nuclear waste happens to be, you know, devastating to the environment. But, you know, that's it's just details. That's all it is. It's just little details like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm quite happy with the new train line going out to the airport. I think it looks kind of cool having the barriers and stuff around it. Prop line tool coming real soon. This area here going to be developing real soon. We're getting a little bit of demand down here. We're going to let that build up. This area needs to be built. This area needs to be built. And we need to start working towards getting some proper suburbs out here. But we're really close. I know things have slowed down a little bit these last couple of episodes. But that's mostly because I've been focusing on details and specific things with like the train lines and the airport and all that kind of stuff. I think I might spend a little bit of time for the next episode or two focusing on details, because I think that'll be really fun. Also, a lot of people are wondering when I'm going to post the map from part 30 to the Steam Workshop. I'm going to do that super soon. I'm going to do that within the next day or two. I'll post a link to it on Twitter, and I'll probably mention it in a future episode as well, but the link to it will absolutely be on my Twitter, so you'll go follow that, and you'll get it, whatever. Anyway, that's going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!